it's Carla. Welcome to the Journey Back to Self. I'm Carla, and I am a personal empowerment and spiritual coach for empaths and lightworkers. So I help and guide people that are empaths and lightworkers going from a place where they feel disempowered and exhausted and feeling like they have been living a life which is not aligned with their true self and going through sometimes very often painful experiences, and take them into and guide them into connecting with their inner power and owning their inner power, their personal empowerment, and going to that place and own it fully. And start living a life which is more connected with their inner truth and their true selves, and which is in alignment who they truly are. I believe this is super important in the life of an empath, and I believe it is indeed the journey of an empath, which is not, which is basically it's not in never, and it never was intended to be living in pain, living in suffering, having those painful experiences, or even traumatic experiences many empaths have had in that early, when they were at an early age, or even later in life, it can be really putting them into states of even depression or anxiety or anger, resentment, and being like a sponge and taking up negative stuff from others all the time, and feeling negative energy from others all the time, and making them feel drained and exhausted. This is not a normal state. It's not how life is supposed to be. Life is supposed to be joyful. It's supposed to be. We're supposed to feel good. That's our natural state, because every time we're doing things that are not aligned with our true self, because we have limiting beliefs that we acquired from others, or things that we believe we have to do or we should do, etc., but they don't make us feel good. That just means we're out of alignment with who we really are. And of course, being out of alignment, it makes us feel bad, because it just to show us that we live in a planet of duality, and it's just to show us the contrast. So all those painful experiences, they have a reason, to painful relationships or situations or experiences. They are there to show us, for us, that we need to go within. We need to stop looking at the external and stop looking for attention, validation, love, etc. from others, and we need to go within and ourselves and find all that inside of ourselves and connect with who we truly are. Those are all those experiences are always wake-up calls, for us to go within and do our work. And I believe that has been my experience. I have been in a many years of my life in that state of I have to do what life throws at me, and I'm just like a sponge and picking up everything from others, etc. And although it was like the normal at the time, but it never felt good. It never felt like, no, it's like there's much more to life than this. This is not what you're supposed to feel. Feel good is not a luxury. It's not just for some special people. No, it's available for everyone. But the thing is, we come to a point in our lives, and that's what happened to me, years ago. And I just had my awakening, and I woke up to this realization that life is so much more than this, and that we can connect with ourselves and to connect with our inner power and create our own life the way we want it to be. And when the veil is lifted, I think when we get to this point, the veil is lifted, it's like there's no way back, because our souls, they want more, they're craving more, and the only way is forward. And I know this at this time, it can be a very confusing time, because there a lot of changes start to happen inside of ourselves, and for most of us, we start listening to ourselves and to how we feel for the first time in our lives. The first time, I mean, the properly listening and honoring what we think and what we feel, and being connected to our emotions, because our emotions are the guiding system of our life. It's where your power is, and we start honoring that, when you start listening to that, when you start saying no to the things that we don't like or people that don't resonate with us, and we start consciously choosing things and people and situations that makes us feel good, and when we put our well-being first, is when we start raising our vibration. And we start raising our vibration, life starts unfolding in a very, very different way than before, because we are starting to live from our truth, start being authentic, showing ourselves authentically into the world, and we start to feel safe doing that. And and this is a process. It doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with this awareness. It starts with this awakening, this awareness of that we have to go within. Looking what we need outside of ourselves, we realize it's not working, and it never worked. And we start having this urge, to go inside ourselves and to face many things that we have been maybe avoiding for many years, and we need to release, stuck emotions and stuck feelings, stuck wounds, that have been there for a long time, because they're not truly us. Those were just experiences. And because I believe we're souls living having a physical experience, but we are the result of many experiences, or in many past lives. So we have all this wisdom inside of us, and we are not just the experiences we had in this life, from much as painful as they were, but we are so much more. And when we start connecting with that, we start honoring how we feel, when we start putting our well-being first and setting up our boundaries, that's when we start creating our own lives based on how we truly are. And this is a journey of self-discovery. At the same time, it's finding out who we are, what makes you tick, what do you like, what do you enjoy, what makes you feel really, what makes you moved, what makes you feel really, really joyful. And everything, when you go on this journey, everything that it's a lie, everything that it's not aligned with your true self, it starts to go away. Start to go away from your life. And I know this can be a very, very confusing time, because there are a lot of changes. I remember I had a one-on-one client from my coaching saying, I feel like I'm losing the plot, I feel like I'm going crazy, because sometimes that is the feeling. And that's the work I do. It's I coach and help and guide empaths and light workers that are ready, that feel ready to go within into this work, but just need some guidance, and just navigating through all of this. And because I've done the work myself, I've stepped fully into my own personal empowerment, and I'm now, I feel like I am in a place where I can hold the space for others, to step up and hold that space for them, so they can also do their inner work and get into that higher vibration, into that space, and hone it fully, and maybe go on with their lives, and maybe help others do the same, because a lot of empaths are indeed light workers, and we have this call and this urge to help others, but the thing is, we can only help others when we help ourselves first, because we live in a you first universe. We cannot help others step into the light before we step into the light and hold that space fully, because that's when you, as an empath, that's when you also stop needing to hide yourself inside bubbles, protective bubbles, or behind shields. And because that is not completely the work I do. It's not giving people techniques to hide yourself or protect yourself. No, it's all the work I do with the people I help. It's all about showing yourself fully into the world, as a powerhouse empath that you are. And because you have this ability to hold energy for others and to transmute negative energy into positive energy, that's our mission. And so it's not, because when you the thing is, when you get yourself into, I know why, because I've done it myself. I've used the bubbles and the shields, etc. But what happens is, when you do that, it's like you disconnect, you disconnect from yourself, you disconnect from others. You very often you're coming from a place of fear, because it's a fear of picking up stuff from others and feeling bad, and you become disconnected, because it's and you cannot help others when you are disconnected, and so you cannot help others when you putting a barrier, a wall between you and them, right? So this is not about hiding or protecting. This is about, it's the opposite. It's about fully owning your personal power and show up fully into the world. And this means facing your own darkness, you know, facing your own fears, facing your own stuck emotions, and really that have been inside yourself, and just release them, you know, face them, feel them, and release them, and step more and more and more into the light, so into where you get to a place where you don't need more shields or more protection, because you are fully grounded in a high vibration in the light. So what's going to happen is, instead of having other people, they're going to bring you, you're going to soak up their stuff, their negative stuff, and you're going to lower your vibration. What's going to happen instead is that you are holding a high vibration for them, and you can make them step up. You know, this is a very different place to be than before. It's a complete different vibration, you know, because you're not letting other people lowering your vibration anymore. And on the opposite, you are helping them step up into a higher place, because you're going to be able to focus on the light in them, you know, because you're not going to fear their darkness anymore, because you know that's just temporary. It's not who they truly are, you know, because you have been facing your own darkness, you know, and it's not as scary as it feels, and as it really is. And when you do this work, you're gonna, instead of feeling drained by others, you're gonna start feeling energized, you know. It's gonna start feeling good. You're gonna start seeing being an empath as a blessing, a true blessing, and the beautiful gift that it is. And then you can go on in the world and maybe help others too. And so yeah, that's the work I do. That's who I am. I'm an intuitive empath myself, and an old soul and a light worker. So, and that's my mission. That's my calling in life. So yeah, so feel free to browse the website. I have a lot of great stuff in here, so, and good information that will be able to help you. And you feel, I have a specific program for empaths too. I have my one-on-one coaching, and if you feel called, you know, to work with me, or just contact me or ask any questions, please feel free. Just drop me an email or contact me on social media. I'm very active on Facebook. I do a lot of Facebook lives in there. So yeah, so if you feel called to it, and you feel ready, you know, if you feel ready to go on this journey, you feel it's the right time for you. I believe you didn't get here by chance in any way. So yeah, I would be very, very happy to work with you, or connect with you. All right, so that's it for today. Have an amazing day, and focus on feeling good, because you're worth it. All right, bye. Love you.